It's compelling, it's cutthroat, it's chaotic, it's clever, it's controversy and chaos, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Controversy and Chaos. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2024. Very excited to be here. Hi guys.
Very, very
Happy New
excited.
Year.
Happy motherfucking New Year. That was me, my inner Roman, Nicki Minaj, Roman's Revenge. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Your intrusive thoughts one. Okay,
Yeah.
so we just gonna go ahead and just jump right into it. So Michelle, what's the lineup today?
Ain't gang if you let shit slide.
Oh, Nicki Minaj.
I know that I said that I don't want to hear about this lady, but ever since I crossed the New Jersey state lines and I turned to Hot 97, that song comes on at least $1,500,
Heck yeah.
1,500 times a day. And that one line, yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I know we said we're not listening to that lady, but I've been listening to that lady. And the album, at first, I only like 4 or 5 songs on it, but it really had to grow on me. I really had to sit with the lyrics and wait, hold on, what'd she say?
Oh, you doing
And
better than me.
You
it
better
really
better
took
than
me
me.
back.
You
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
even
like that
listened.
many songs.
No, the album is actually really good, and I'm not a barb. I actually can't stand the motherfuckers. But it took me back to literally Pink Friday days. I had to listen to it with it open heart and an open earlobe, But it was really good.
I
I
did the
like it. I
same
listen to it
Yearrr, and
often.
it don't give that. It remind me of Pink Friday for sure, but
Yeah.
only Fuck the Club Up and Everybody are good on the song. R&B is cute, but some of it
hmm
is just like
I was talking to Caleb, one of our other good girlfriends, because we always talk about music and award shows and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And we had the same issues. Some of the songs were too short, but then after further research, because y'all know I'm a music nerd, I realized that. Well, I didn't realize. Nikki said that a lot of the songs are short because either she was waiting for someone to get on it or whatever. Things just didn't work out, but she still wanted to put the music out because she delayed the album so much. And I'm like, okay, I can appreciate that, which is
Yeah.
why there's so many different variations of the album and of different songs. Some songs came out after the album was already released, meaning the song
Mhm.
she has with Monica and Keisha Cole. Why wasn't that
Mhm.
on the original album? Each week has been a new song that was supposed to
Yeah.
be on the album, but it's a remix to the original song on the album. Confusing, but
She was talking
whatever.
about how Doja, well, she didn't say Doja's name, but she made it a point to say, like, when I was coming up in rap, it was an honor. Like, I treated people with respect if they would let me hop on their songs. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
Doja, it was a song that, matched Doja flow. So everybody was suspecting,
Cowgirl.
yeah. And
Yeah.
she had an attitude about it. And I'm like, people can choose not to work with you. You're not the only rap girly out here.
Well, this I can go in a whole rabbit hole about this, but the issue with Nicki and Doja is that Doja forward facing is a Nicki Minaj stan, right? But on the back end, according to Miss Minaj, she does little things that's girl, you really don't fuck with me like that. You really don't
Mm-hmm.
like me. But in the end, Doja will be like, oh, I feel like she doesn't like me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't
Playing,
that the pot calling the kettle?
exactly. So it's Nicki is mad because Doja is playing her at her own game. And that's what it's given, honestly.
And seemingly doing it better because you don't hear anything about it. The
Mm-hmm.
bad, I would say the bad thing about Nicki Minaj is too many people have said the same thing about her for it to not be
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's the only thing. Doja Cat, anybody, all we can say about her is she's a little weird.
Yeah, people be
Yeah.
like, she the devil. And she, in one of her songs that plays all day, she literally mocks people when they say that by singing, ooh,
Yeah.
she.
Yeah.
So, say what you want. She's a good artist and she really don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's the
she's kind of
gag
evolved into her own
thing.
entity. And even
Mm-hmm.
her rapping, because Get Into It, she's she wanted to have Nicki on that song, but Nicki said there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing that I could have added to the song, which
Mm-hmm.
is great. It's fine. So it's you can be a fan of somebody, but I think definitely behind the scenes there's a lot more that happens than anybody will ever know. But I'm still
Right.
of the belief that 15 people cannot be saying the same exact thing and it not be
Mm-hmm.
true.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. But I personally just haven't listened to the album. I don't think I've listened to any new music and other than Chris Brown, because
Yeah.
a day will not go
I mean,
by
it's Chris
where I
Brown.
don't listen to Chris Brown. But
Mm,
I don't know. I just haven't felt like connected to her as a fan. Even like the
mhm.
songs, the singles that she did come out with, it was like, okay, I could do without it. I'm not like running to Apple to be like, oh, let me just hear what she came out with. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I think the song
Yeah.
she performed at the not the MTV Awards. I'm who am I? VMAs, when she
Mhm.
did all of that song and dance. That now that I heard the album, there were other songs that she could have did that would have added to the like wow factor of this album.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
Like
yeah.
you specifically chose to just troll with that song, and it wasn't the best song on your album.
Mhm.
Yep. But
Hmm.
anyway, let's catch up. So we're fresh into the new year. I feel like I don't really have much going on. I mean, outside of that, my employer, which I refuse to keep talking about. Yeah, I'm just kind of like easing in to the year, not I ain't in a rush to do nothing. I'm just kind of like easing to the year. The only thing that I am actively doing is planning out my vacations for 2024.
I
That's the
do
Hmm.
only
love a
thing that I'm
vacation.
doing. So far, like we're taking Harper to Disney World this year. So we're going to do part cruise, part Disney World. So I've identified the dates for the cruise. So now I just need to see if I want to use like a travel agent, because sometimes you can get like onboard credits and stuff if you go through a travel agent versus booking it
Hmm.
yourself. So I'm just like working on that. I've identified I want to go to Chicago for my birthday this year, which
I
it kind
love
of sucks
Chicago.
because it was great in my mind that Celine would have the same birthday as me, but now it's in reality it's not. I don't like it
Because you
I said that
because
from the beginning.
I don't like it
But
now. But I mean, I know like 2 years old, nobody really throws like a massive 2 year
no.
old party.
Mm-mm.
So it's just like, okay, we in different kind of years. So her first birthday, I turned 30 that year. We still
Mhm.
managed to, move it around. So it's like good.
Mhm.
So it's like I know her next big party will be 5. I'll be
Mhm.
35 this year, so that year. So maybe I'll just go a week earlier. I think
Well,
4th of July, I
at the
will
end of
just
the
adopt
day,
that as my new birthday. And then she can have our actual birthday.
okay, well, think about it this way. She's a kid. So,
But
up
I
until
know
5, yeah. I mean, this is a win for me because at the end of the day, whether it's her birthday or not, you're going to be in the same state as me because you're always here during your birthday. So
literally.
I can always kill two birds with one stone. She's a kid. Her party's
Mhm.
going to be at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then at night, we going to fuck the club up. Where's
She could
Nicki
always turn
Minaj?
5 on any day. She can turn 5.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it's just like our kids be having such close birthdays. Like Harper and me are having birthdays
Yeah.
literally 7 days apart. It's just
Mhm.
like, come on.
I know.
We
Yeah,
should
but
have
they don't
planned this
turn
out
big ages at the
at
same
the
time.
same
Like
time.
I think
I
Mhm.
they'll have
know.
parties every year, but and like they won't make it to every party
I have
because
parties in jest because I don't be the one pushing to have said parties. But
I would
I
say,
don't know
yeah.
how to do anything on a small scale. So even
yeah.
if I host a party at my house, I'm still like
And
her
my
last
birthday
birthday,
is the day before, so I it's likely if I'm not or no the day after. So
the
it's
day
like
after.
if you do something, I'm doing something for my birthday, or I'm just like, yay.
Yeah, so it's just like it's not it doesn't make sense.
It's okay. The
I should
kids
have
know you love them.
thought about that a little bit better so I could put that out in the world that Celine would not come on my birthday. But, we're here now.
We'll get through it.
So I'll
And
figure it
she's
out.
turning 2. We're not doing anything. It'd probably be like with the cousins and y'all. Like I'm not doing a whole shenanigan.
I know.
You say that
Yeah.
now. That's
She's
No,
she's
I'm dead
no,
serious.
I feel like she's dead set. She's probably gonna just
Yeah.
have it in the house and it's just like, okay, let's have
Mhm.
cupcakes, things
Yeah,
because our birthday's on a Friday this year.
mhm.
yeah.
So yeah.
Shoot,
But
she might get cupcakes and a party at the daycare. Okay?
listen, well,
I
gonna be
order
Bring
cupcakes.
back
Chick-fil-A. I
simplicity.
order Chick-fil-A for y'all.
Listen, see? But yeah, Chicago is what I've been wanting to go, and definitely I want to go in the summertime. So I'm gonna go for my birthday, and
Mhm.
yeah, so those are two for sure vacations that I have that are 1,000% happening. The rest of them, I'm gonna figure it out.
Listen.
and I got places to go and stamps to get. So there we are. But also,
Yeah.
speaking of birthdays, somebody's turning 30, and I have tasked myself
Ooh.
with the cake.
I love that for
So
me.
I can't wait. So now I am like, gotta find like the perfect design for this cake. Yeah, I got 90 days
And I
to
have
figure it out.
literally like a week to figure out these invitations. And Michelle, I'm gonna fire you again because you're supposed to be my ghostwriter and you're not ghosting shit.
You didn't ask me for anything. I'm
Yes, I
confused.
Yes,
did.
the theme for the
I asked
party,
yes, I
the
asked you to
name.
You
come up with
told me
the
what the theme
name.
was.
And I asked you
Maybe I
to
wasn't
think
there
of
for
a
that
name.
conversation.
Yeah, sorry, not the theme. I said that wrong. You were supposed to think of like what to call it. And
Yes.
here we are.
Yeah.
No name.
I have 7 days. Okay.
Fired.
Let me Google something. I don't know.
Yeah, get back to me on that one. Anyway, but as
Yeah,
far as for
y'all. I'm
me,
glad that y'all have big plans this year because I only have one big plan. I only have one big vacation that's planned, and I'm okay. I'm content in that because I really was fucking the club up for the past couple years. You
yeah, I was
know,
about to say, I
time to
feel like
get
you've had
the business.
a stacked couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think 2024 being your sit down year is
Mm-hmm.
good. Like that's fine. Sit down.
I got shit to do.
I'm still gonna invite
Mm-hmm.
you to shit, but maybe just like local
And
things.
you know, Sierra, I
Mm-hmm.
called to Ray the other day and told her I couldn't do nothing, and she was like, "Reasonable. Like, I know why you can't do it because you got to get that done. Let's do this."
Mm-hmm.
But also, it was like, "Damn, I'm always on the go. Like, it's always like, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we gonna do it."
Yeah, and
And
I
I was
feel
like,
like
"Damn, is this growth?"
definitely, but I feel like that's one thing that I've finally learned in my like late 20s was to say no and be okay with
Mhm.
saying no. I can't go. I'm sorry. Like it's
Yeah.
certain things I can't go. I can't do it. I'm not, and I feel like some stuff I will always like find a way to do.
Mhm.
Like Teray, I'm never missing Teray's birthday. I mean, it's been 10 years at this point. Like
Mhm.
the only
Sure.
time I missed your birthday was when you were pregnant. No, did I even miss that? I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was pregnant, and I couldn't
yeah.
travel. I couldn't do anything, and I'm sure you was at
Hmm.
home balled up crying.
Shut up. I was
Mhm.
just like I was
Yeah.
crying at your wedding because I was all pregnant and couldn't even
Oh.
breathe,
Yeah.
crying. But
But let's be clear because it's the new year that it's a difference between like saying no because you can't and saying no because you should say no. Like you
yeah.
need to
But
say
I
no.
think I think it's I don't see nothing wrong. You know, I'm the no queen. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's anything wrong with one saying no because you literally just cannot do something. I mean,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I when it comes to like my friendships and people that I feel like I'm very close with, I try to make it happen as much as possible. And sometimes it be to my
Mhm.
own detriment that
Mhm.
I make it happen. Like I live in Atlanta. A lot of the events and stuff for everyone are in a different state. So I gotta
Mhm.
travel. And sometimes it's just me. So that's a little bit easier. But when I gotta bring the whole family and the dog and
Yeah.
drive 20 hours round trip, it'd be a lot to literally
Mhm.
come and show up for one day,
Yeah.
literally a
Yeah.
couple hours, and then turn right back around the next day and home. It'd be a
Mhm.
lot. There's a difference between saying no for just because you literally can't do something, or it's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with
Mhm.
just saying no because you just don't want to go.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think also for me as an adult, my friends and like my core group of people, they're gonna show up for me in whatever way they can in that moment. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
So even if one of y'all can't physically be there, your presence is still gonna, be known, whether that's, all right, Sierra, what do you need for this? Let me at least send this, or let me help
Right.
you plan it. Do you need resources? Do you need to just run
Mhm.
ideas by me? You're gonna show up in whatever way you can show up. So I
Mhm.
never really take it personal when my core group of friends can't do anything or can't show up because y'all show up in some sort of way. For
yeah,
me, it's the people that never show up, but then want to feel some sort of way when you don't show up for them. It's like, why do you have this idea that I need to overly extend myself?
Mhm.
And yeah, I just feel like this new year, I'm just refreshed and renewed. I feel good about me
Yeah.
we love
in my
that.
nose. Yeah.
I was feeling like, damn, why I don't feel some anxiety going into the new year? Like I and it's so ironic the name of this podcast because I really for so long felt like I thrive in chaos. And I
Same.
don't. It's just like you always busy. It's okay to be calm. Like my mom used to always be like, every time I said I'm bored, my mom would be like, "What is bored? Like you need to figure out what boredom is, and why are you so bored all the time?" When really, I just always have something going on, and it's okay to just ease into the new year. It's okay to just ease into the next task. I don't have to have a long list of things that have to get done right now, and that's how I'm going into the new year. Like I know it needs to get done, and I'm finally at a point where I'm just one foot in front of the other, and we're gonna get it done like that. I'm not pressed for time. I'm not rushing and crying and throwing up and all that stuff. Like, let's just do this.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think it's not truly boredom. It's just stillness.
Yes.
Like, cause like
Yeah.
boredom. Damn, that was a bar. Shout out to
Mhm.
me.
Look at you with your one-liners.
Yeah, shout out
That
to
was a
me.
one-liner.
But yeah, it's just stillness. It's just like, okay, I'm being still and I don't know what to do with this. It's not necessarily
Mhm.
being bored because it's like it's a thousand things to do. Like I could twiddle my thumbs. I love being in my house by myself. Just like
Mhm.
quiet. Sometimes I literally will just like if I need just like a break, Colin will take Harper and I literally won't turn the TV on. It'll just be me and a dog just sitting on the couch in dead silence.
Mhm.
I don't be sleeping. I just be there, just sitting and being quiet. So it's like, yes,
Can
essentially
we
that's a boring task, but
It's not though.
I just learning how to just be still. I don't need to be running around 24/7 like a chicken with my head cut off. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can do
Can we
nothing.
have a moment to appreciate the husbands in the chat that know when we're overwhelmed and they need to get out of our space? Because Matt, he's really good at that. Like recently, he's been saying like, "Okay, Celine, let's go do this activity. It's too cold, so he can't take her to the park. She loves the park, but he'll take her to like her grandparents' house, and they'll go over there and watch soccer. She'll play with her cousins, and it'll give me like a couple hours to just either do nothing or do everything I couldn't do while they're home.
Yeah.
And that's like 2 hours will easily turn into four. Like the other day, he was like, "All right, I'll be back at 12 o'clock." So I'm like, "Oh, I could record videos. I could do content. I could, do emails, do all this stuff, clean up." I did all that before 12. And then 12 came. He's like, we're still watching soccer. So I'll be home at 2:30. I'm like, "Well, shoot, I
Oh,
got two and a half
love that.
hours to just do nothing."
And
And then
you.
I
Yeah.
ended up going to the mall with Teray. And I'm just
Yep.
like, "Hey, what a day."
Like
It was great.
it just works out and it's just like, oh, I love it. Like Colin is really good at that as well. Like over Christmas, I'm very used to just like I think like growing up because there's so many people in my house. I'm used to
Mm-hmm.
just it being a lot of noise, a lot of people. It's always somebody's coming through the front door all the time. And it's just like now, like living by myself for an extended period of time, I'm used to the noises in my own house. Like Harper playing with her
Mm-hmm.
toys, it really don't bother me. Y'all know she be singing Frozen at the top of her lungs. Sometimes I don't even hear her. It doesn't bother me. Colin playing whatever new game he's playing, shouting with his friends. It, a lot of times it doesn't bother me. But when everybody came for Christmas, it was just so many people moving around. I'm like, oh my God, I'm overstimulated. I have to go. In addition to
Mm-hmm.
the regular noise in the house. And I just went upstairs and I got in my bed. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I just went upstairs and just sat on my bed. I was just like, I just need to like take a deep breath, scroll on TikTok, and lay here for a little bit. And then I came back downstairs and Colin's like, oh, you were taking it. I was like, no, I was just overstimulated and I just needed a break. And he was just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And went back to what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I think for me, it's just like really acknowledging that I be needing a break. And when it's too
Mm-hmm.
much, I'm going to leave. I gotta go.
And that's okay.
Like,
That's
and
Yeah.
called growth and learning yourself.
yes,
Yeah.
like y'all know, I would go to sleep anywhere. Like there've been plenty of nights I would just go in Sierra's room and just lay on her bed and be just out, and nobody know.
Insert
And
clip.
I don't like say anything. I just disappear and just lay in her
Mhm.
bed and go to sleep. And now I just like being more vocal about like I'm not upset. It's just I'm overstimulated. It's just too much. So I'm going to
Mhm.
take a break.
I think the problem is people don't understand overstimulation. People are just like, oh, this person has an attitude. And it's like, wow, nobody ever gave you a break, so you really don't get it, huh?
Yeah, and for me, it's like I know some people's overstimulation involve like it. I don't know if emotes as is the right word, but it comes out as a irritation.
Yeah.
Right.
And I used to get like very agitated and irritated because like now I'm giving you short answers. I'm like, please stop talking to me.
Mhm.
But I think the older I've got, it's just like I know like the physical symptoms. Like I literally just feel like I could feel the anxiety in my body. And I'm like, oh no, I have to go. I feel like I'm literally about to explode. And I just leave.
Yeah.
And I just walk away. You know, sometimes after
Also,
a long day, I go in my garage, wink, wink. Or other times I go to bed, I just go to sleep. And I literally just go in my room. I don't turn the TV on. I don't turn the light on. I just lay in the bed and that's it.
The wink wink is hilarious.
But yeah, I just feel like that's it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, we were catching up. So, Michelle, you were sharing that, you don't have any anxiety going into the new year. I shared that I'm refreshed and renewed. And I don't know, I just feel so good. You guys know that back in like, August, I told you guys about my business plan or my business idea that I wanted to do. And I was supposed to launch it in August. It is now the new year and I just now launched it. And I really had to prepare myself because I told y'all I'm tired of moving in fear. So I really had to like pray and ask God to like let me know when I was ready. And that's what really took me so long because God, I ain't hear you. Okay. I was waiting for you to tell me. And he finally told me. So now I just feel good. Like normally when I'm like launching something new or sharing something new, I have anxiety. I'm like, oh no, this isn't good. I don't want to post this, that, and the third. I just posted it and I was just like, oh cool. Then I went to scrolling back like normal. And I came back, I'm like, oh wow, I actually have emails. People are already emailing me. People are already DMing me like, oh my God, how many people are you taking on? I'm just like, okay. Okay, God, I heard you. I'm finally listening.
Period. And I just feel like sometimes that's what you have to do. Like our own internal deadlines of when we say we want to do something. I think it kind of ties back into what we said the last episode about like timing. Everything is supposed to happen when it's going to happen. So you can start something because you feel like it's the right time, and there's going to be a constant door shutting in your face because it wasn't the right time. And it's just
And
like
I
when it's
think,
supposed to be, it's a relieving thing. It's not like, oh God, like what the fuck?
It doesn't feel heavy.
It just is like, okay, I feel good. I feel confident in this now. This is the time that I was supposed to do it. And then all of the doors that are supposed to be open, they're already open. You just walking through them easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also love how after every sentence, we're always like, yeah.
We're like,
It reminds me
yeah.
that Justin LaBoy. Is it Justin LaBoy or Justin LA Boy?
I say
Love. I don't know.
LaBoy, but
I
Sierra
say
says
LaBoy.
LA boy.
Well,
I
whatever
say
his
love.
name is, it reminds me of that the
Now.
meme where they you got a bunch of delusional friends that be like, exactly.
Exactly. Exactly. No, my thing is, I don't even say exactly. I mean, exactly. Exactly.
Yes, like
Oh,
egg,
Lord.
EGG.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. No, my new favorite thing is absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like my mom's
Because
favorite
it's
word is
absolutely.
fantastic. When she be like, okay,
Oh my gosh,
fantastic.
she does say
Fantastic.
fantastic a
I be
lot.
like, okay, girl, do not say fantastic no more. That's her favorite word.
Like, why is that your word of choice?
Anytime like she's on the phone with somebody, like she's scheduling a person, okay, fantastic. That's her
No,
favorite word.
my mom's word is awesome. 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 I'm
Oh yeah,
like,
she
girl,
says that.
awesome, really? Awesome. Okay, girl.
She loved that word. And she
Mm-hmm.
had the accent, so it's like awesome.
That little 90s New York accent. It
Awesome.
won't go away. She drives me crazy with the R's. Like, mom, why are you having an R in I don't know why they do it.
She
It's
can't help
just
it.
it's insane.
Okay. So in lieu of today's regular bev check, I am just like, I've been noticing a lot on TikTok that all the girls have now caught on to French 75s.
It's driving me fucking
And now
crazy.
French 75 clearly is going to be the drink of 2024. Goodbye lemon drop. That was the 2023 drink. Everybody discovered lemon drops. I mean, yes, I've been drinking lemon drops
Yeah.
since the 1990s.
The
But
first time I had a lemon drop was for your graduation when we went to Fogo.
No, we had them in Miami, remember?
Oh. Oh yeah, we
At
did.
the
We
pool.
did. Oh
We're
yeah,
not
we
trying
did.
to
With the
gatekeep drinks, but it's a little exhausting with the whole soft life era on the streets.
You know
and
what?
you
I'm
know
actually
what?
here for it because I don't like mimosas, mainly because I don't like orange juice. So for me,
Mhm.
and champagne, it'd be the
So have
I
a
don't
cheapest
do
big
champagne
mimosas
that you could
either.
get. Like, baby, Corbel and Andre makes my stomach hurt, and it gives me a
Mhm.
headache. So a French 75 is like I get the vibe of mimosas. I still got the glass, same glass as everyone else,
Mhm.
but I have an adult drink in there. Like I literally went to one of my friend's birthday parties. Like her birthday is in November. And that's what I ordered at the bar. So and I was telling some of the single guys, I'm like, look, no more mimosas. When you trying to buy a girl a drink, get her a French 75. Let her know that you know.
Mhm.
And now look at it. Literally a month later, all over TikTok, I'm like, French 75s. I told
See,
y'all.
this is the thing that's annoying to me because you guys, I'm not up on the cocktail and the bev life. I look to you guys for bev guidance. And after Michelle was raving about gin, I saw one TikTok about a French 75. And then I went to the bar. Matt and I, we went to the bar and it was on the menu. I was like, oh, let me try this French 75. Michelle been talking about gin. I made a little TikTok about it. And then ever since, I'm like,
You've been seeing
so
it.
That
everybody really,
algorithm, that
yeah.
goddamn algorithm.
I'm like, damn, now I gotta find another drink.
Wait till
Y'all
you
done
taste
stole
a
it
And it's
again?
not
gimlet. Oh my God. Wait till you taste a gimlet. Go to a bar and order a
so good.
gimlet. And like French 35s and gimlets are classic drinks. They don't have to be on
Mhm.
the menu. You can just order it
Mhm.
and they will.
Everybody know how
Yeah,
to
it's like an old
pour a lemon
fashioned.
together.
It's
They
never
should
really
know how
on
to
the
Okay.
menu, but you can just order it. It's just like a regular drink. But yes, a gimlet is like a
Now,
gin martini, basically.
okay, but what do you guys think about French 75s with reposado? Because one TikTok girlie told me to do tequila with the French 75
That's just
instead
like
of the
people be
gin.
swapping out
I
vodka for tequila and a lemon drop, and I'd be like, a margarita? What's happening here?
essentially, yeah,
Yeah.
like the way I look at
Yeah.
it, like I don't want to say I love to drink, but
You do.
I appreciate a good cocktail. So a lot of times, and I drink pretty much every kind of liquor. I don't really care for rum too much, but if I'm going to order a drink that has rum in it, I'm not going to substitute it out because most times when you
Mhm.
make a cocktail, you make it with the taste of that liquor in mind. So like
Mhm.
gin is made from juniper berries, so it doesn't really have a berry taste. It's more of like a florally taste.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So when you start putting tequila in there, which some tequilas, especially bad tequila, they taste like vanilla. You're ruining the taste of the drink by adding a
Right.
different
Mhm.
liquor in it. It's not designed for that. Drink a margarita if you want a lemon drop with tequila. Like, I just don't
Mhm.
understand. The point of a lemon drop, you're supposed to get that like punch of citrus from
Yeah.
Mhm.
the lemons, and they use vodka because vodka doesn't really have a taste. It
Yeah.
tastes
And
like whatever
That
you
makes
put
typically,
in it.
sense.
if you want bubbles in tequila, like you would order Paloma. But like you could switch it out if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't have no beef, right? Like I think that people should try new drinks. I just
But the girls
hate that
don't
people
know.
try to
That's why we
like
need you guys to
no.
get its hip to
Well,
the
that's why y'all
cocktails and the
have
bevs.
cocktails by
That's why you
Ray.
could just buy my book.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, speaking of buying your book and cocktails, I have another task for you. Don't you love when I give you task?
Lord.
And sometimes
Okay. Well, your task is to craft up a signature controversy and chaos bev,
Mm.
and the girls will try it. So make your little
Oh, she
concoction.
said it's like Noop juice.
Yeah. We could have our own little
adult.
oil, Noop
We're gonna
juice,
have Noop
you
juice.
know,
New
all
juice
that
burns
stuff.
going down. Like
It
Mm-mm.
does.
I don't want no fraternity juices at 30. That should
Oh
like
my
just
god.
acid.
I
Boy.
do. I'll drink some
Some
what you
oil.
call it?
Oh, I could just feel
Oil.
the stomach ache. Like my stomach already
It's
Yeah.
the
hurts thinking about
grittiness.
it. It's
But
yeah,
we had a good time. We had a
We
good
did.
time.
And
yeah,
I do it again.
yeah. Like,
I do
but
it again.
yeah, in my younger years, yes, I would do it again. I would not bat an eyelash. But my adult mind is just like, oh baby, my stomach hurts just
N-
thinking about
I
it.
drink some oil. I'll have water and a BC powder as well
I'm gonna
next
cut
to it.
mine with
Listen,
water. Like, just give me a little water to cut this down because I can't be doing
I don't want to hear none of that come October when homecoming season comes up, because this year
Oh,
is
please don't talk
Matt's
about that.
Line's 10-year anniversary, so we cutting the fuck up.
I'm gonna drink
And
Ape juice. That tastes better. Low
it
key,
just is so good.
it's
It's so
it
good.
might be the best one. It might be the best.
It is the best one.
It tastes
Like,
I
let's be
think
for
the
real.
best.
I don't think I've had, I don't remember like what ape juice tastes like, but I remember just eating a pineapple and being like, oh, this is some
So
strong
good.
shit.
Yes. Like when Kayla gives me the AK's juice, I'm like, oh yes, let me get the apples.
So good.
I like Kayla,
So
give me the apples.
good.
That yeah. So I mean, like for homecoming, I'm gonna be prepared. I'm taking my Tylenol before, BC in my purse.
We need to just have our
Yeah, we
conversation
cutting up.
I'm
chaos
gonna be prepared, but
with a QR code on the cup. Like,
Yes.
listen to our
I'm
podcast.
gonna be prepared. I'm gonna be prepared. But signature drink for us, I could do that. I got some.
And I have
My will
so many
ready.
ideas we'll talk about offline in relation to a Cocktails with Ray and Controversy and Chaos collab.
Mm.
So we'll talk about that during our next meeting. Michelle, I'm on your ass too.
Y'all
So
will
yeah.
see it. I don't know what she's talking about, y'all, but y'all will see Cocktails Ray and Controversy and Chaos in 2024. And I'm gonna go and hide under a blanket.
No, ma'am.
Because I
Girl, now. Stand up.
So I feel like the main thing that I wanted to talk about today, there was a couple different things, but let me see. I had an epiphany this morning while I was getting dressed.
You need to go to Tiffany's.
Louis, you're my. Never mind.
I had an epiphany
Sorry.
this morning while I was getting dressed, and the topic just came to me. Like a lot of times, it just comes to me, and what I write down, we never. Sometimes we don't get there, but basically, I was listening to Melissa Ford's interview with Angie Martinez, and
Mm-hmm.
basically she was discussing like the passing of her mother, and she was talking about that time where that she was able to spend with her mother before she died. She was like she spent a whole lot of time just asking her a bunch of questions just about her life because
Mm-hmm.
she felt like she didn't really know who her mother was outside of just being her mother.
Right.
And it kind of made me think, and my mom actually said it, just like listening to the episode, she was like, wow, I really thought I knew you, but I'm realizing that there's a lot of things that I don't know. And I kind of just like, it kind of sparked a conversation, well, a thought for me to ask you guys, at what point do you kind of divulge that? Do you wait for your kids to ask you about your life as outside of being their parent, or do you kind of just like divulge information about your life? Like at what point do you kind of humanize, what point are we supposed to like humanize ourselves?
See, that's difficult for me because I actually watched the interview as well, and I was thinking to myself, I know a lot about my mom. I
Me
probably know
too.
more than I should know.
Me too.
And that comes with having a teen mom and you pretty much growing up with your mom and experiencing their life. But I know it from my point of view as a child. And I think recently I've been revisiting a lot of different scenarios and things that have happened or I've witnessed my mom go through as an adult. And it's been like, I understand why you are the way that you are. And not to be spilling tea about my family and stuff, but my mom is very like non-emotional, like not affectionate, not emotional, all the things. And I feel like she's that way because of her own childhood and her own upbringing and just how she was raised. And being a teen mom, my mom's a hustler, okay? Like everybody knows, not in the streets, but she's a go-getter. That's what I'll say. And I feel like she wasn't awarded the opportunity to be like super nurturing and affectionate as a mom because she was so worried about providing and going and getting it. Of course, she had my dad, like, but they were both young. And I don't think they had the opportunity to be like super nurturing and all the things. But now, as a grandma and a mom, like, my mom is way more affectionate now to me and to my child than she was that I remember as a kid. And I think my mom now has like allowed me like the grace. Not saying I didn't have grace for her before, but it was more so like Mom, why are you like this? You need to go sit on that lady couch, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, oh, I get why you're like this. Whether you get it or not, I get it. And so
Yeah.
I think because my third eye is way more open than most people in my family, because I was awarded the opportunity to, one, I majored in sociology in school. So I kind of overanalyze people in general.
Yeah.
And I always have an answer as to why somebody is the way that they are, whether they want to accept it or not.
Right.
So I feel like with that, I've been getting to know my mom a lot more through her past life, meaning her childhood and before she had me. Because I'm well aware that she was a person before me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so it's been interesting. A lot of times I'll use words like, the Twitter words like toxic or whatever, just different words that they didn't use back then to describe, different things. And my
Mm-hmm.
mom, sometimes she'll be like, why are you saying it has such a negative connotation? Or no, I told my mom, I say, yeah, you and I are very manipulative. I said that to her, right? And she's like, that's so negative. Why would you call me a manipulator? Da, da, da. I said, Mom, there's nothing wrong with being able to manipulate things in your favor. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't make you evil. That just means you're going to figure it out in my mind. That's how I take it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's I feel like manipulation is one of those things. It's only bad when you use your powers for bad.
And
For
about
Barry.
If I use it
and
Mm-hmm.
for
we don't.
good, then it's fine. Everybody manipulates to some extent. Like children manipulate all the time. Like Harper
Exactly.
is a manipulator. Like she already knows if I say no, she will go. She's like, I'm going to find a yes. Somebody's going to say yes.
Mhm.
But
So it's
I
just
feel like
okay.
that I don't know that kids are manipulators or that they try to find ways to negotiate.
They don't. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Um,
But she will negotiate with her parents. Like if this person says no, then like what's the difference between a job telling you no or somebody like you in business with saying no and you're just gonna find your yes? It's not manipulating. You're gonna find
well,
your yes.
in her situation, no. It's like if she want a donut and I clearly said no, you've had enough donuts for today. Daddy, can I have a donut? It's like kids know how to like turn it on. Like you turn on
Mhm.
the
Right.
charm, you turn on the big little eyes, and it's like, yeah, you can have one. And I'm like, hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not like she's not doing it out of malice. She just wants a donut. But like
exactly. That's
even
the
Right.
like
difference.
as adults, it's just like we manipulate shit in our favor all the time. Like
Mhm.
women manipulate themselves out of getting speeding tickets. Like if
Mhm.
Sure
I can
do.
blink my eyes, I'm like, oh my god, I just don't know. Like if I get pulled over in a different state, I'm like, oh my god, I'm from Georgia. I have Georgia plates, a Georgia drive. I didn't know. Like when I go places and I'm like, hey,
Mhm.
can I turn on red here? I don't know. I'm gonna turn and just be like, well, if something happens, I'm not from here. I'm going to try to
You
Mhm.
have
manipulate
no
this
idea
in
this
my
time.
favor. I have gotten out of speeding tickets where I was doing 95
God damn.
and I got out of it because I had my parking pass in my window. He's like, I'm just going to go ahead and just give you a warning. And I'm like, whoa, thank you. But I'm going to be blinking like, oh, please, sir, don't give me no ticket because 95,
Me, I'd be
my
like, can
license
you
is
put your
suspended at
number
that
on
point.
that warning? I'm gonna be glancing at the ring finger, like, can you put your number on that warning?
Uh, you know what?
Oh,
Because one thing about it, I love to be a damsel in distress.
yes. So all those things, those are manipulation. No one's getting hurt in that situation. So it's not
Right.
necessarily a bad thing. It's just words. But a lot of words now have such a negative connotation with it. It just
Mhm.
doesn't, people only think negatively. And it's like, really, if we look
Mhm.
up the definition of that word, it's not a bad thing. People
Exactly.
just
So
use their
basically,
powers for evil.
right.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, I think for me, trying to figure out how to balance what's too much for a child to know. And I think I've come up with a good plan. I'm never going to shoo my child away or my children away. I'm more so going to break it down and explain it at their level.
Yeah.
Like if when Celine comes up to me at 5 years old and says, Mommy, where do babies come from? I'm not gonna lie and say the stork.
Yeah, no.
I'm
Mm.
gonna say that mommy and daddy wanted to have a baby, so we asked God to bless us with the baby, and He allowed mommy to get pregnant. That's what I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say we done had the sex. Okay, I ain't saying
Yes.
all that,
Yes.
and I'm also
God,
not gonna lie.
absolutely not.
Mhm.
Exactly, but I think that being honest with your kids in a way that they can understand is the best way to go, but
Right.
not necessarily oversharing. Now, my mom didn't overshare with me. I just had eyes and ears and I was in the room.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, that's my take on that.
Oh, I guess it's my turn.
It is.
Is
I think my mom did like what you're saying you plan to do. I think my mom did that. Like she always explained things for my age in a way that I was able to understand it. And when I got older, I would be like, "Oh, this is why you said this," and "Oh, this is why you said that." And now I'm able to take those lessons or take, the conversations we had and realize, like, apply it to who she is. And just seeing my mother as a person helps me to like understand how I'm gonna have to turn myself inside out for my child, like, and also how I exist every day. I think that our generation of children are just gonna be in a better space because we prioritize being ourself before we are mothers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we watched our parents just like be in survival mode. And I feel like we talked about that recently. Like they've always just been in survival mode. So you couldn't see them as a person outside of motherhood. Um so yeah, I think my solution is the same. Just talk to them on their level so that they understand like who you are and be honest. I think a lot of times people carry shame or they feel like, oh, that's humiliating. I wouldn't want my child to see me in that light. And it's like the
Mm-hmm.
child has their whole life to make their own decisions and their own mistakes. Why wouldn't you want to be honest? Like humanize your experience as a parent. You don't have to be a saint, superhero, or some fictional character as a mom or as a dad. So yeah, that's my
Mm-hmm. I
yeah. I feel
agree.
like, and maybe just because like Harper is older, it is becoming more apparent. Like even by the questions that she asks, like the whole like babies thing. Like she is obsessed. She's like, I was a baby in your stomach. Like yes, you were. She's obsessed with it. So it's just
Mhm.
like that like it just shows that early on kids are already thinking about
Right.
these things or just like trying to figure out anything. Like right now she's figuring out family members. And like when you tell
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
her that I'm like, "Oh, Lovey is my mom." And she's like, "What? You have a mom?" And I'm just like, "Yes, I do." She was talking to
Mhm.
my grandmother and I was just like, that grandma is Pop's mommy. And she was like, "Pops, you have a mom?" I was just like, yes. It's just like one of those things that adults, clearly everybody has a mother, but kids don't
Mm-hmm.
know that. And it's just like even little things like that. I'm like, oh, I never thought to explain families
Mm-hmm.
other than yes, you have a
Mm-hmm.
mom, you have a dad, you don't have any siblings, but like from her classmates and stuff, she learned about brothers and sisters. I'm like, yes, Celine
Yeah.
is your god sister. Chanel, she's telling everyone that Celine is her god sister. I'm like, yes, you have a god sister. I'm like, Mia is your cousin. And she's like, yeah. Like she's just like understanding and having questions just about like families.
She'd be like, Mia, my cousin?
And it's like a question
Yeah.
mark every single time. I'm like, yep,
Okay.
that's
That's how
true.
that works.
and
So I'm like, Lord, the day when she finds out that your cousins are really your sister or your
your
brother's
mom's
kids, and then
brother.
when she find out
Mm-hmm.
my brother and sister don't have no kids, she was like, hold on here. Now I got to explain to her black cousins.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting because we haven't gotten to that point, but Mia, she'll point to me or she'll point to like a show and say like, Mommy, Daddy. And then she'll point to me and my mom and be like, Mommy, Daddy. Like, that is not how that works. And she knows who her mommy is. She calls me mommy. She
Yeah.
knows who her dad is. She calls him daddy. But if she sees two people together, she automatically, they don't even have to have kids. You are mommy and you are daddy because you are a mom and you are a dad.
Because you are an
So,
adult. Your mommy
yeah,
and
like,
daddy.
I'm not looking forward to like explaining that because I know that is going to be a process, but also I'm not a fan of telling kids like go sit down, shut up, like or
Yeah.
like
Me
mind
either.
your business or because I said so. Like I know that's gonna be hard to challenge because no matter how hard we try, our parents come up in us whenever we talk to or we handle our kids. But I always hate hearing somebody say because I said so, because kids be having some reasonable ass questions. Like the stuff
Mhm.
kids ask, I'd be like, I would want to know the reason why too. Like, why are you
Yeah.
telling me to do this? We're obviously doing something totally opposite. And I have to catch myself with my kid. Like the other day we were on our way from Disney World and y'all know Mia is a wiggler. She wiggled out this booster seat that my brother bought her. And I was so pissed off because we were in traffic. And I'm like, Mia, if something happened to you, you're done. Like, you got out this car seat. I'm just like talking. I'm like, this 4-year old is not trying to hear that. She tired. We've been in the park all day. She want to go to sleep. So I pulled over. I said, I know you want to go to sleep. I got my black ass in the back seat. I rocked her to sleep. And she sat down. And she went to sleep. She don't understand. And sometimes, like, isolated situation, sometimes you have to explain, or sometimes you got to check yourself. Like, why I'm so hot and heated over this explanation right now? Or why am I so hot and heated? And what can I do differently? That's a whole
Mhm.
other topic. So yeah, I believe in explaining stuff to children, and I'm gonna work every day not to become one of those parents who just be shutting kids out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I be on the fence with that one because sometimes it's just like, girl, because I said so. We're
Oh
going
my.
Yeah,
here.
sometimes it is enough because
Sometimes
kids also
I'm
know
not
when
gonna
they're being
keep,
annoying.
yes, I'm not gonna keep explaining. You know why we had to take a bath. We're not, why because I said it's time to take a bath. Period. End of story. You
Probably
know
crying.
why we get in the bath. We get in the bath so we can be clean. I'm not re-explaining this situation. Get in the tub. End of story. So like in certain instances when they really are asking a question and from a place of just not knowing or not
Mhm.
understanding,
Mhm.
yes, you should explain it to your children. But some things, because I goddamn said so. I'm the adult,
Mhm.
you the child.
Yeah,
I
I'm
say
not explaining to you why
we
you
going to
need
the
to take a
right,
bath.
we're going to the right. Just that's it. I'm not over explaining myself in certain situations. Just not gonna do it.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think for me, like right now, as she's like 5, it's easier to kind of like break things down. But I'm trying to be more conscious of showing her that adults have emotions as well. Not just her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Adults cry, adults get upset, we're happy, we can laugh. Everybody has the same set of emotions for her to, be comfortable. Like, okay, yes, I don't want her to see me and her dad as just like we're just parents. Like, oh, parents don't have any
Yeah.
emotions. They don't go through anything. Like certain things, obviously, you don't want your children to see. Like, I make a conscious effort. I'm not arguing or having an adult conversation, especially now that
Mhm.
she understands and she's a parent and repeats things. I'm not doing that in front of my child. Just
Right.
because
Mhm.
that's just I just don't want to do that. In certain instances, I feel like there are certain areas in your life that your kids should not know about until they're of a proper age. Right now, she's just way too
Right.
young. And even when they do become to a proper age, they don't need to know all of the nuances. You can explain a situation, but I don't have to give you the entire play by play by the millisecond. I don't have to do
Right.
that.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want her to, that other people have emotions. Like my childhood dog was sick, and like y'all know, I love that damn dog.
Mhm.
I couldn't get my shit together. I was boo hoo crying for like 2 hours. Now, mind you, that was probably like 4 months ago. She'll tell you, mommy was crying like it
She
was
sure did.
yesterday. And I'm just like, and I have to tell her, like, that was months ago and that was not today. I was not crying today. Like, it's just like, at first I was like trying to hide it and go in the bathroom, but it's just like, I'm crying because my dog is sick. It's
Right.
Mhm.
not like I'm crying because something major is happening. I don't know how to explain it to her. Like, she knows who he is. He was sick. It makes me sad. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
when she, asks about it, I want to be, it was in that moment, it was just like, I'm okay. But really, I don't want her to grow up and be like, my mom never showed any emotion.
Right.
Right.
I want her to know that it's okay to do those things. And then outside of that, as she gets older, like you guys know, I've struggled pretty much, I feel like half of my adult life, pretty much half of my life in general, with like anxiety and depression. And now being officially diagnosed with it, it's just like, okay, I still feel like I've definitely gotten a lot better, especially seeing, my therapist regularly. But there are still moments where I feel overly anxious, or I can foresee those depressive episodes kind of like creeping in. And sometimes I
Mhm.
Right.
don't know how to handle it. But it's just like, I know I got to get up every day, put 2 feet on the floor, and just go. I spend a lot of days sometimes just going through the motions of, okay, got to make breakfast, get dressed, get ready for school, got to work, make dinner, activities, just doing and kind of just like moving on autopilot versus like really doing what I want to do and then just lay in the damn bed. But it's like, for me, I kind of struggle with, okay, at what point, because I don't really think it ever goes away. You just learn how to manage it better. At what
Yeah.
point do I kind of, and how much do I share with her about it? It's like, what moment in life are we supposed to have this? Because she'll get older and kids have eyes.
Right.
Kids know when you
Mhm.
good and they know when you're not good. And I feel like she's
Mhm.
going to be the kind of kid that just asks. And I
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't want it to be, I don't want to continue the stigma that you just have to be this stoic character and just like push through,
Mhm.
but I also don't want to put her in a space where she feels like, she has to walk on eggshells,
Right.
so it's like that. I feel like that's kind of like the part that's in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, as she gets older, how much do you actually share? How much do you not share? When it comes time for, her to be dating, how much do you share about your dating history? How much do you be like, that's none of your business? I just feel
You
like, oh
know,
my God, it's a
that's
very like,
that's another topic
yeah, that's a
that
whole different
I feel like
topic
we have to
for,
talk about because we all have daughters. And I told Matt, I said, listen, I'm gonna keep when by the time Celine is ready to date, I'm telling her the tea
Listen.
in an appropriate way, but I'm spilling my guts because I'd be
Mhm.
damned if my child got to go through what I went through at the young ages that I was dating. And I am
Mhm.
a proponent of people dating at a young age. We can get
Mhm.
into that later, but
I'm gonna mark
dating
that down because
within
that'll be a whole different
yeah,
Mhm.
dating
conversation for a
within
different day.
dating within reason and appropriate for your age. But I feel like for
Mhm.
me, I started dating young, and I feel like by time I met Matt, I was 19 and I already had a dating history and I knew exactly what I was willing to deal with and willing to put up with in any
Mhm.
man. And for me, it was easy to just walk away because I knew, even as a teenager, oh, I'm fine. I'm not fine, but another man gonna want me. So I'm not gonna feel stuck
Girl,
in a
because
situation just because, you know what I mean? Because one thing about it, I'm gonna get a man.
and
I'm
you
married,
know you
but
raised to believe. I don't know how y'all were raised. Like, and my mother didn't really instill this into me. It was more so my stepfather. You don't need to be thinking about no boys. Well, at some age, developmentally, you start to
Yeah.
build an attraction or have an attraction to the
yeah.
opposite sex or whatever you're in
Hmm.
at that point. So telling a child to suppress that is doing the very opposite of what you should be doing.
Exactly. And I don't
Like
want my
the
kids to
human
feel like, oh,
interaction.
my mom is so strict. She's not going to want me to do this, that, and the third. I'd rather be in your business than be on the outside not knowing what's going on with you. And
Yeah.
my parents, they didn't necessarily encourage me to date, but it was more so like, don't be promiscuous.
Yeah.
Don't be a Jezebel.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
remember at Morgan we went I don't know if you were with me, but we went to some like forum and I used to love these fucking forums because it just brought out everything. And I was a sociology major too. So
Mm-hmm.
analyzing the room, scanning the room, what's going on. And this
Mm-hmm.
girl, of course, it was about relationships. And this girl was like, well, my mother always told me I better leave a nigga with more than just a wet ass. And I thought about something my aunt said, and I was like, my aunt said that too, but I would never tell y'all niggas that.
Right.
But as an adult,
Right.
like you you ingest that, like you take it in differently as a 15, 16, 17, 18 year old.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
think about it. You ain't leaving no situation with just a wet ass. Like, I mean, y'all married, but that's not all I'm taking from this situation. Unless, like, you my sneaky link, but still, all relationships are transactional. I'm leaving here
Yeah.
with more than a wet ass. So
Exactly.
I just think it's very interesting. Like, so many people don't even realize that they've been taught certain things from young, but it's the way that you digest that information as you go on.
Mhm.
I'm like a advocate for like not explaining to kids at their own level. So with my
Mhm.
child as a teenager, I'm gonna tell her the real, but it might not be cutthroat. I might not say wet ass. I might just be like, I don't know yet. I'll think about it.
We'll
But
figure out the words,
Yes,
but
semantics, you
exactly.
essentially
can
same thing.
find
Yeah.
the verbiage, but it's just
Mhm.
like,
Exactly.
at least being open and willing to have the conversation. And I feel like it always shouldn't be from a place, in that instance when it comes to like dating and sex and, things that teenagers are going to be
Mhm.
curious about, young adults are going to be curious about, not from a place of trying to scare them. Because I
Mhm.
think
Exactly.
a lot of
More so
times you get
education.
I think a lot of times you always get, from like adults like growing up, you get the negative side of any kind of
Mhm.
dating or sexual relationship and never the part that, hey, I enjoyed it. I probably
Right.
shouldn't have
Mhm.
been doing it, but I had a blast. It's
Mhm.
like you never get that part. It's always like, oh, don't get pregnant. Or if you were a teenage parent
Mhm.
that, you focus a lot more on trying to make sure that your child doesn't repeat the same thing rather than giving them the
Right.
tools to make whatever decision that they
Progress.
feel like is best for them. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah, so I feel like I be thinking about these things and I be like, whew, okay. How much
Mhm.
information do we give? And not just from me as a mom, from her dad. Like,
Mhm.
how much do you really want to spill?
Mhm.
All right.
Because
And I feel
but
like
I feel like
those are
it's
the ones
important.
that yeah. Because as a mom, I can tell you about my experience with men or, whatever, but I also think that like from a dad, you have to be able to keep it real within reason from with your child, not just your sons, okay? Not just your sons, but your daughters too, because you going to be real mad when she
Mhm.
bring a rinky-dink ass man up in your house and you looking in the mirror like, "Damn, this nigga done got my child."
Yeah.
Yep.
So, whew, the plight of being
Mm.
parents. Oh, there's
Sure.
a part of adulting. I'll be like, can we skip this part? I don't like it. I don't like
Actually
it. I
I
don't
actually
like
like
it.
this part, but in a twisted way because I feel like I feel like I'm doing things that I wish, like, my parents were afforded the time to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's fun for me. And also, like, being a new mom and educating my parents on, like, "This is why I do this," and, if you talk to a kid like, my parents aren't dumb, obviously, they know these things, but they grew up in a different time, and they've raised their kids in a different time. They
Gentle
didn't
parenting
have the
was not a thing.
opportunity.
They'd be like, a
At
who?
all.
Yeah, they
At
didn't even
all.
have the opportunity to even think about the things that we can think about as far
Yeah.
as raising kids. So that's been fun for me too. Like, mom, this is why I'm choosing to raise Celine this way. And then she'll be like, okay, that's cool. And then next thing I know, she's always sending me stuff like, oh, what do you think about this for Celine? Or, oh, like, you get what I'm saying? She's not combative about it. I know some people's parents is like, well, you turned out fine. Like, sure I did. But,
On the
that's not what we're
surface.
talking about.
Like on the
Right.
surface. But yeah, so I feel like I just want to figure that part out, but also, just taking small steps and it's just like showing her that I'm an adult. Yes, I'm an adult, but I'm also a human being. We have the same emotions. If things make you sad, adults get sad. It may be about different things. Like I'm not sad because my toy broke, but
Hmm.
I might be sad
Right.
that it's dead, but
Right.
let that go over your heads.
I heard you. Hmm.
But
Not
yeah,
putting
no.
that thing down.
But I
All right.
also think
Where
just
the
like
charger?
from like my mom's comment, I and I know mom, you're listening to this. Just ask. If you feel like you don't know something, just ask. I'm really not.
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
think like I'm like a closed book, but I'm definitely that kind of person. Like if it doesn't come up, I'm not gonna say anything. Like
I'm not gonna say
just
it, yeah.
ask, and I will tell you
Right.
whatever it is that you want to know. Because at this point, I don't got no reason to lie.
I
Just
don't give a damn. Yes.
ask away, and I will
No.
provide you an answer, and that's
Really
it.
Yeah.
quick, that reminds me when my mom found out I lost my virginity. Mind you, she was years late, but whatever. We're in the Walmart, right? We're just shopping. She goes, "Here." I go, "Yeah, what's up?" And she's like, "You lost your virginity?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "What? When?" Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, "Can you calm down? If you wanna have this conversation,
Can we
can
not
we
do it
do
at
it in the car?
Walmart?
We're in
Right.
Walmart right now. Can we talk about it in the car? I'll tell you. I'll tell you." "Well, why didn't you tell me?" For what? We didn't talk about these things, but since you're
Right.
asking, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And I always, ever since then, I always told my parents, don't ask me nothing you don't truly want the answer to because I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Snoop and you shall find.
Yes. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just like in the words of my mother, ask you get, don't you won't.
Mm-hmm.
So ask me, I'll give you an answer. But I feel like that's really for
Mm-hmm.
anybody. That's for y'all. Like, just ask.
Yeah.
And there's always an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just
I asked
ask.
her something the other day that I thought to myself, I probably shouldn't ask her this, but I'm asking her
Yeah,
anyway
like even when you
because
preface it, I'm just like, girl, what the fuck? Just ask.
that's a
Girl, what
sensitive
the fuck?
topic and we can talk about that another day. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but I mean, how much closer could we be? Just ask.
yeah.
Because I may not think
But
about like, oh, I should have this conversation or divulge this information. It just is like,
mm-hmm.
okay.
But even for me, like there's certain things that will pop up that's a trigger for me that like I never vocalize as a trigger for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone asks or it comes up in conversation, like for example, one of my friends had sent me this video of this girl and her friends pretending to be pregnant, right? And she was like, "Oh, I could see you doing this in your younger years." And I was just like, "Nah, I wouldn't do that." But I never explained why it like, you know, made me feel away.
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
can get into that at a later date, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
That was a lot.
That was
Yeah.
it.
That was a
It
lot.
was a lot, and it was just like it just dawned on me while I was getting dressed this morning. Like
Mhm.
some people really don't have the luxury of knowing their parents
Mhm.
until it's the end. They wait until they're running out of time, literally. Well, Melissa's situation, like her mother was literally dying, and she knew that. I guess
Mhm.
the whole there in Canada, you can if you're terminally ill, there's a whole process where you can basically have a medically assisted death, so you know exactly what
Pick your
day.
date.
So it's like she knew it was
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
coming, and she's trying to rush to try to get as much information that she really didn't throughout her life
Mm-hmm.
from just being a kid and seeing your parents through one lens and carrying
Yeah.
that your entire life. And it just kind of resonated with me. I'm like, wow, I don't want to do that. I don't want,
Yeah.
my kid or, anybody that's close to me to feel like it's a secret or
Yeah.
Yeah.
to not feel comfortable that they can just ask me and that I'm going to tell
Yeah.
them.
And I also think
Mhm.
it's our duty to like unfold ourselves for our children because I think about like how I've been researching stuff about my great grandmother and my grandmother on my father's side, and I would not know these things if they were not open to have conversations with me. So I want that for the next generation. I want my child to know this about me. So her children, they will know. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to say my deepest darkest secret, but they can connect the dots. Like your children should know
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that for us.
Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah. I feel like this is a
We
good
need to stop
topic. Oh my
talking about these
gosh.
damn kids. Can we talk about next time we got a no kids rule next episode? Because I know people be listening, they be like, "Oh, I don't have no kids."
But I mean, I feel like certain things apply even to people who don't have kids. Like this
Mhm.
conversation can apply if you have younger siblings. It can
Mhm.
apply if you have, because like I have a younger sister, she's 21 now. So it's just like she's going to go through and experience different things in her life, probably things that I've already been through. It's the same
Mhm.
thing. Like you can just ask and I will tell you. I have a brother. He
I
lives with
think
his
that's
girlfriend now.
universal.
There's always, it can apply to everyone, not just to
Mhm.
how you parent. I just thought about it like because the situation she was dealing with her mother.
Mhm.
Yes, I just,
But
but it can
yeah, it goes
correlate
across the
to
board
any.
for any relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
next episode, no kids zone.
Yeah.
But yes,
My lord.
I am excited for the new year.
For
Yes.
sure.
And I feel like it's going to be a good one. So yeah.
And
Agreed.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Yes. Happy New Year, you guys. For the drink recommendations, make sure you go on my Instagram page. Sierra's gonna put it. We'll put it in the comments and about somewhere.
Somewhere.
Follow us.
It'll be there.
Get the book. Because baby, one thing I know how to do is make a hell of a cocktail. Okay. Okay.
It's gonna taste good and it's gonna get you.
It's gonna get you where you need to go.
Correct.
It's gonna get you where you need to go.
Another shameless plug, since we're talking about, our roots, you can buy Planting Good Soil on MichelleJJohnson.com. You'll love it if you are interested in starting conversations with the women before you. That is Planting Good Soil at MichelleJJohnson.com.
Amen.
Period.
I
And
love
hit up
that.
Socially Crafted for your social media needs.
Because you knew
Yeah,
Sierra
do
wasn't
that,
going
do
to say
that.
it.
I know. So
I love
Socially
it.
Crafted. Hit the grow.
Hit the groove.
She will get you right. Okay?
Yeah.
But
I
until
was talking to
next
y'all.
time. Until next time in episode 5.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. We're so close to double digits. Anyway, okay.
Yes.
Anyway. Have a great week, everyone. Make sure you also send us questions, comments, anything to our email box. We will read them. We will respond live on, well, not live, but we'll respond on the pod. And that's controversyandchaos@gmail.com.
Make sure you spell it right.
And if you're lazy, just send us a DM.
Yeah, send us a DM on Instagram if that makes it easier for you. We check all platforms. Yes.
We should let it go down in the DMs one day.
It go down in the DMs.
Let it go in the DMs one day. Let me look up his birthday.
What?
Everything. I'm about to look up his birthday.
Why?
Okay.
Because it can go down in the DMs on his birthday. It's May 19th.
All right.
All right. Goodbye.